Okay, look, government contracting sounds scary. I know. I used to think you needed a law degree, a secret password, and a fax machine from 1982 just to get started. But here is the truth, right? I started with nothing, no fancy degree, no mentor, and no clue. Just a laptop, Google, and nerves. Now I'm submitting 4 to 6 bids a month, and I'm teaching people like you how to do the exact same thing. If you can send an email, follow directions, and handle a little bit of rejection, you can win contracts, and I'm here to prove it to you. So let's go. Right today, I'm making sure that my volume is on because I made a video right about I think it was Monday about a bid that I lost, and come to find out there was no sound. So I'm going to make sure that my microphone is charged and my green light is on. That way I know that I have that I have sound, right? So today I'm going to show you how to search for government contracts, right? Three separate platforms. One is New York State Contract Reporter, the other is Bonfire, and the next one is BidNet. Um, I also wanted to say, just give a little bit of advice, and this is personal advice. You don't have to take it. You do what you want, like that lady said. That's your business, okay? I don't recommend paying for platforms that charge you. There are so many good bids out there that on platforms that are free. Sam.gov, which is a federal website, it is free. You do not pay for bids. Bonfire charges a purchasing premium. I would not pay for that. BidNet has a subscription where they charge as well. I would not pay for that either, right? So overall, my best advice is to not pay for subscriptions to find bids when you could literally find them for free, right? You can find them for free. You can utilize a plan and put it in place to use a free website. And the websites I'm showing you today, they're free. You don't have to pay for these websites. If you want a subscription where you want to, so you can look at other um, platforms, but in reality, what you can do is just go to that state's website, create an account, and from there you can look at all of their bids. So it's like you would just have to do a little bit of extra work by plugging it into Google, but there's no reason to pay for a platform, right? So that's my advice. We're going to look at New York State Contract Reporter first, and you have to create an account for each one of these. So let me share my screen. And I hope you can hear me okay because babies are sleeping. Um, my baby's asleep, so I don't want to talk too loud. But um, all right, so I'm also gonna. This is New York State Contract Reporter. This is for state bids in New York State. I'm just gonna check really quick. I want to check that my sound is working because we don't want to do nothing without sound, right? I want to make sure you can hear me loud and clear because this is going to be a really good one. So, all right, we'll double check that in a minute. All right, so this is New York State Contract Reporter, right? This is New York's official source of contracting opportunities, bringing the business and the government together. I utilize this website a lot, but what I want to show you is first, create an account, okay? You can create an account, and that way you can bookmark opportunities. And once you bookmark them, you can come back to the opportunities, right? So it tells you the opportunities that were posted today. 37 opportunities went up today. Opportunities in the last 7 days were 210. And then 932 total available opportunities in New York State on this platform. Okay. Then you have a sidebar here. I love this sidebar. I really do because it tells you about all the events that are coming up in New York State. And I went to a matchmaker one time in Rochester and it was awesome. I took an hour ride. I got all my paperwork together, my business cards, got all spiffy, and I showed up and it was phenomenal, right? I was aware of that opportunity because of New York State contract reporter. There was a bulletin on the side that was showing that that event was happening, which was fantastic because a lot of the connections that I have today, I still have. And that was September of 2024. I really enjoyed myself. I met some people from Apex, I met some agencies, I got to sit down with people. I'm sorry, I got to sit down with agencies, but I knew that because of the side tab. So look, coming up August 12th, 25, Monroe County, which is Rochester, has a DoD regional council training and conference matchmaker coming up. So it gives you updates on events, and I really, really love that. And then you have another side tab over here where you can advance search, search archives, your opportunities, bookmark ads, and a couple other things. Bid results and awards. This is a good tab because it shows you what other people are winning in the space. So you're seeing who's getting that money, honey. You're seeing who's winning each contract that's being put out. And then you can search based on classifications, categories, and locations. And then ad types, those are opportunities. That's what that means. You can look at general, under 50K, MWBE. If you've just been certified by MWBE, which I'm in the process of, I actually met with Buff State today to put a plan in place to get MWBE certified. So that's Minority Women Business Enterprise, and that's really good to have. And then you can look at ones through 50K through 750, single source, continuous procurement, request for information. Now, sometimes with someone asked me about request for information. What the government will do is they will put out something called an RFI, right? And an RFI means that basically what it means is they're looking for information on a certain project, but they don't really have contacts and information to reach out to anyone. So they want to know who is out there who would be interested in bidding in the future. Let's say they wanted to purchase 25 sleep number beds for a hospital, but they don't have anyone in their contacts that they can reach out to that is a small business that sells mattresses. So they put out a request for information, hoping that someone will see that who sells mattresses or has a connection with a mattress company, right? And they ask for some information, like basic information. And that's what an RFI is. The government, the agency is requesting information on a basic product or service to see if they can make a connection with a small business that's doing it in the area. Let me see something. Gosh, we have these things are called sandflies in New York. They are so annoying and so aggressive. It's like somebody just came through and dumped all these sandflies all over the place. Like, what is going on? All right, I just want to make sure that I'm actually in the right space and you guys can see my screen. Usually I'll look it up on my phone just to make sure that you can hear me. And of course it's acting funky because it just did this update. I don't know, this update just came out of the clear blue sky. So okay. Um New York State contract reporter, right? These are all the bids. You see them, they're numbered on the side right here. This is what the government is buying. Okay. These are active government contracts right now. Okay, so you can bid on any of these that you see. So if you are a small business and you know anything or sell a service or a product based on fuel cell technology, you can bid on this contract. It will give you the agency, the division, the issue date is the date that it was put out, which is today, and then the due date. Now, in this situation, I use a checklist and there's a lot of bids out here, right? So I use a checklist. If a bid is not open between the issue date and the due date, there's not at least 12 to 14 days, I will not bid on a project because 9 times out of 10, what's happening here is this is just an update. Mental health of New York State office most likely had to make an update on a project. There's no way you can only have 1 day between reaching out to subcontractors or getting your own pricing or putting an RFP together. You need more than 1 day. You should have between 12 and 14 based on the scope of work and the project. I would never bid on something that only gave me 1 day. But this is an indication that this is some kind of update. Maybe someone was already awarded, they had to go back in and make a change and that's why there's only 1 day. Maybe the mental health facility had to open the bid back up to edit something and then close it right back out. Because as of today, 12/01/13, this bid is now closed. So, and I'll show you here. Um, let's look at another one. Management system, 3-year contract for rail saws. Now, if you see anything on here that you do, um, you can, okay, right here, outdoor LED bulbs, right? You can find a subcontractor or a middleman to help you with this. But the issue date and the due date, look at how much time there is in between that. That's something that would be helpful to bid on, right? You have enough time to be able to put an RFP together, get your documents, talk to subcontractors. You need time in between to be able to do that. So this is a good one. This is what? This is more than 14 days. This is something I would consider looking at. And then if you want to view it, you can also share it with someone in your network. Send me notification updates on this file, or you can bookmark it. Once you bookmark it, yes, it's now in your bookmarks and you can go back and you can look at it, right? So you can also view. We'll see. Boom. Now it's in your bookmarks. So if you want to go back and look at it at any time, you can. Right, so we'll go back home. I'm gonna put my charger on, and all right, contract reporter. So let's go back to home. Now, all of these things that you see that are all right. Let's look at the opportunities for today. We're gonna do that. Oh, it's past midnight. Okay, we're gonna look at 7 days. That's why nothing popped up. So now we're looking at what was posted in the last 7 days. So If you see anything, this is how I search my bids. I come to these state and county websites like New York State Contract Reporter, and I just search until I see something that meets my criteria based off my checklist. Now, if you want me to share my checklist with you, I can. Just comment in the chat checklist, and I will share my checklist with you in the description, and you can utilize it how you want. But I won't bid on anything that doesn't have an issue date and a due date between 12 and 14 days, right? Like I said, outdoor, if you're a company that sells outdoor LED bulbs, this is perfect for you, right? You can have an LLC and come out here and bid. There's people who tell me, oh, I don't want to get into government contracting. It's too much paperwork. It's too much this. It's too much that. Okay, well, let's partner together, right? Let's partner together, put a plan in place, and move forward because I have the experience to put an RFP together, an RFQ. I have the connections to bid with the government. If you don't want or you don't have the time to do all of that, or you feel like that's too much for your plate while you're currently running a business, then we are collaborating and executing, and it's going to be all success, right? If you can execute and provide the LED light bulbs and I can write the RFQ, RFP, it's a win. I lost my Stanley straw. I don't know what happened to it. These kids touch everything. Okay. Trying to check and make sure my microphone is on. I don't want to have to do it this way, but okay. We won't be making no more videos without sound, I'll tell you that. Enough of that. I was so bad when I saw that video. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. So, marketing and product development, exclusive pouring rights, repair, replace boiler room controls. If your company does that, that's a good contract. You would have to repair and replace the boiler room controls. Once again, issue date and due date. A lot of time in between. A lot of time in between to be able to put that bid together, right? If you are a demolition company, demolition and removal of the structure on East Main Street in Lewis County. That's a good one. If you're a demolition company, that's right up your alley. Or if you want to middleman, I'm a logistics company. If I was going to bid on that, I would reach out to demolition companies and say, hey, can I get a quote? Can we take a look at this? And I'm going to click on the ad. So when you open an ad, in New York State Contract Reporter, an ad is a bid. Basically, that's what an ad is, and some agencies and platforms use it differently. So it'll give you some information. The county has determined that the residential structure located at this address um, is unfit for human occupancy. The Board of Legislators, by formal resolution, order the structure to be demolished and all materials properly removed from the site. It's asking, do you need service? Do you need SDVO? And it's no. So you do not have to be veteran owned to bid on this. The due date is July 9th at 2:30. The contract term, which is how long the work is going to take and be open for, is 90 days. So that contract will be open for 90 days. That's when you're doing the work. County is Lewis. And then I really like this right here, how it shows you that business entities that were awarded identical or similar projects, right? Because then you can reach out to these companies and say, hey, I see that you have some past performance. Maybe we can move forward and subcontract together. So I love that they do that. Um, Contact info. This is your contracting officer, right? You hear me use the term contracting officer a lot, okay? And oh, my cat, what are you doing? This is what I mean. This is the person that you're in contact with during the time of the bid. Okay, this is who your primary contact is. This is who you're going to submit the bid to. So any questions that you have about the bid that you feel like are missing, this is the person that you're going to reach out to. Brian. That's your point of contact. That's the person who's in charge of the bid. There are some documents that you have to look at. This is your actual documentation of the bid. Is there any updates? No. And then once it's awarded, you'll be able to see the bid results and the award here. So a lot of good information, a lot of good information. I love New York State Contract Reporter. I really do. And, as of lately, I've been trying to focus more on bidding on contracts that are not just one-time hits, because think about it, if you bid on something in July and you win, you only have income coming in for July. But if you bid on something that's a year long, it might take a little bit more time, right? Um, my thing is, if you're at the point you're bidding a year's worth of work, that's consistent yearly income. Month after month after month, you have income coming in from that project, right? So now I'm at the point in my career where I'm thinking much bigger. I'm thinking like huge, like, up to $1 million contracts. I started out bidding small with one-time hits. Then I moved up to yearly contracts so I can bring in money consistently on a yearly basis. And it took a little bit more time, absolutely. But now I'm at the point where I'm trying to bid as big as I possibly can, because I know that whatever you're thinking, you need to think bigger. And that is what I mean when I say that. Whatever you are thinking, you need to think bigger. You're going to start out small. You're going to have to look at contracts and documents, and they're all going to start to look the same after a while. If you're seeing contracts and they're looking the same, that's when you're going to start moving on, right? That's when you're going to say, okay, a lot of these look the same. I feel like I'm comfortable in this space now. Let me move forward to not just one-time hits, but yearly hits. After yearly hits, it's like, okay, let's now move into the federal space and do bigger and better things. My phone did this really strange update. It's like, I do not like it. I am not a fan. Very, very, very awkward. Okay, so let's look at what else we can see. Waste removal services, if you're a waste removal company. And what you're seeing me do is just what I do on a daily basis on different platforms. Um, this is all work that New York State needs done, that they have funding set aside for small businesses to help them. Like, the government needs help. This is what this is, and they're looking for someone who can come on these contracts, execute, and then give them more work ahead of time. That's really what they're looking for, like giving them more work in the future. And I will always tell you, from a business standpoint, the government needs small businesses. They're rooting for you. Exterior siding repair and repair restoration windows. If you're a window company, that's fantastic. Now, can you tell me why I wouldn't bid on this? Why do you think I wouldn't bid on this project? Right? I wouldn't bid on this project because there's only 9 days in between from the time it was issued and put up here, the 11th. The due date is the 20th. That's not enough time. Something's going on here. There might be an update, an edit. This doesn't meet my criteria. There's a certain way I look at bids, and I'm going to make a note, because tomorrow we're going to go over the checklist that I use. – 6:13 today. Okay. Yeah, so I wouldn't bid on that just because of the time frame. So yeah, anybody who has a pool company, replace septic system in pools, technical assistance for town and comprehensive plan. So that's just how I look for bids, right? And this is just on New York State Contract Reporter. This is a very popular site, and each state has one that you can utilize. This is just for New York, right? Because I am from Josh Allen country, Josh Allen town. Go Bills. Yeah, I know I'm coming back to start talking mess again because we're coming up on the football season. But I want to enjoy summer first, right? We don't want to rush it. We want to give them time to practice in the off season. All right. We don't want to do too much now. We don't want to rush the summer. All right. So that's just a little bit of New York State Contract Reporter. Up next is BidNet Direct, and I don't use BidNet Direct often, but what they do is they send me updates on things that I utilize based on the NAICS code. Like I tell them, this is what I want to bid on. If you have any bids that come up that are under this product or service, email me the notification. And that's how I end up on BidNet Direct. But it's not a source that I use every day. It's just something that when they reach out to me and they say, hey, this was just posted under your products and services. Come take a look. Now, let me see. It's asking me to log back in. It'll give you some updates on what if it's new features. They have a new feature. You can save solicitations now. Viewing a bid solicitation, you'll now see two options. You can either save or follow. It can be viewed anytime. Give it a try today. Nice. So that's an update that is pretty cool. So this is the total amount of bids that's on BidNet Direct. This is another free platform, but they do have an option for you to pay. I do not recommend that you pay. Open solicitations is a little bit over 27,000. Closed, obviously, is a lot. Awarded, obviously, is even a lot. So now let's look at what they have up. Coffee machines. If you're a company that sells coffee machines, this one's for you, right? Operation maintenance, development of fire promotional examinations, event management services, automotive replacement parts. If you're an automotive company or you wanted to reach out to an automotive company, middleman it, you can go from there. iPads, pump parts. If you sell computer software, this is good for you. Specialty trailer purchase, Albany County, if you own trailers, or if you're a cleaning company and you know someone who can collaborate with you, someone who owns trailers, middleman this. Reach out to them and be like, hey, by June 26th, listen, can I get some quotes from you? Can you help me out with this? Take a look at it. The trailer company give you a price. You put your margin on top of that price and you submit the bid. Okay. Now it takes time in between bids to get awarded. So make sure you're making sure that the quotes are active for a certain amount of time, right? Chemical waste disposal, purchase of a cabinet shower. If you have anybody that you know or you own any of these companies that you're seeing that look familiar, bid on these contracts, right? If you need help with your LLC, please reach out to me. I had someone today at Buff State tell me I shared a video on my LLC journey. And she's like, did you use any third party service or anything of that nature? I'm like, no, I did it by myself. I really struggled. She's like, Deborah, that is really impressive. Really impressive. She's like, a lot of people struggle with the LLC where they have to hire someone else to help them. She's like, so it's very impressive that you were able to do that by yourself. And I was like, thank you. So, um, That was just like a glimmer, something that really made me happy today. Because today was kind of rough, but doesn't matter what's going on. I'm just going to keep pushing, you know, determined, pushing overall. Just stick with what I know and keep going, right? Office cleaning, if you're a cleaning company, this is a good one. Closing date is July 2nd. Let's look at this one. I have a friend who, yeah, see, okay, this is what I mean. So, trying to look at a bid, right? It's asking me to upgrade to statewide notification, right? They want me to purchase the platform. And if now that I remember properly, I believe this is why I really don't use BidNet Direct. Um, so now you see office cleaning, right? New York State. This most likely is on New York State Contract Reporter. Why would I pay for it? If, entrances, remove fingerprints and smudges, clean threshold, and remove all visible soil, dust, low, high areas. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go check on my babies. 1 second. You okay? You know where that piece of wood is for your window? It's right. It's not wood. Oh, yeah, it is. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. I just wanted to check on my sweet babies. Okay, thanks for being. Sorry about that. Thank you for being patient. All right, let's go back and share the screen. But what I wanted to look at was now if Empire State here, so BidNet Direct has something up here for office cleaning. Now they want you to pay for the subscription. We're not going to do that. We are going to go to New York State Contract Reporter because it's telling me, let's see, and we can search office cleaning. Okay, so it's not showing us anything. So I wonder what county that is. There's only a certain amount of information that you can see. This is a state and local bids. So that might be local, but I would have to know what county it's in. So you see what I mean? I would never pay for that service. Um, so let's look at something else. Member agency bids. And I think it does this to me a lot. That's why I don't use it. Coffee machines. Okay, that's one it didn't do it on. So this is what bids look like, basic information on BidNet Direct. This is not my number one go-to. This is not one of the best ones that I personally like. I like Bonfire, Jagger, and New York State Contract Reporter. Um, so this is what the bids on Bid Direct look like, and you can always look up trainings on YouTube. I'll do more in-depth trainings. It'll give you the reference number, solicitation type, the title, solicitation number. You're always going to use this when you're bidding. When you are bidding on a project, this is how you identify what project it is. Um, the organization that's bidding, which is Orange County, it looks like. Oh, this is everything that they're looking for. So they have 3 open solicitations in their area, and this is everything that they're currently looking for in the work that they have available in that county. It's telling you purchase type, which is the issue date. Some of these words are going to look different, right? This is the issue date. Um, and then this is, all right, wait, what's going on here? Oh, this is the period of performance. August 14th is when the work starts. So this is a yearly contract, 2025 to 2026. Um, we're actually going to learn something together really quick because even though I'm in this space, I don't know everything, but I like to learn too. So, a piggyback contract is a procurement method that allows public agencies to acquire goods or services by utilizing a pre existing contract from another public agency, bypassing the competitive bid process. This type of contract is often used for purchasing public institutions or corporate districts and must comply with the Public Contract Act. Okay, so that's what that means. So this went out today, 6/12. Questions. There's always a question deadline. You'll get to ask questions on all bids, which I love, but just be careful when you're asking questions because the agency, what they do is they put out all the information, the answers to the question. Sorry, it's been a really long day. What's up? You all right? What's the matter? You want to give me a hug? I'm never gonna turn down a hug. Hold on.